All right, guys, remember the Netflix series Tiger King? It was killer, right? Well, they're coming to Pittsburgh for a live show, Rach.
Who would not remember? Right. I mean, that's like that was the epitome of what show to be watching. It went like telephone. What are you watching? Tiger King? I'm on it.
So everybody remembers Tiger King. We all started the COVID virus quarantine with. If it wasn't for Tiger King, we would not have made it through the first.
You guys, we may have blamed you for the pandemic. Like, we're not kidding. Like, we think that there was some conspiracy with your cast because everyone was smitten by sitting around our TVs and watching Netflix. Is this true? Is there any truth to this conspiracy?
There is enough conspiracy and wacky ideas out there. Yeah. Please do not make any more.
Understood.
All you gotta do is make a Facebook post and be like, well, I saw it on Facebook, so it must be true.
So
it popped up on my feed.
In case you haven't noticed, we have Joshua Dial and John Reinke from the show, The Tiger King. And so it's so crazy to meet you guys. And you guys are coming to Pittsburgh on November 18th to do a live show. Tell us a little bit about that before we start hitting you with big questions.
Go ahead, Josh.
Well, I mean, we have a really good time, all four of us on stage. We each go up there individually and kind of have our own story to tell. And then what's the real fun part is when we all get out there, it's a real melting pot. The cast is, I think me and Barb are kind of on kind of somewhat of a level mind on the same issue, I would say, on animals and Big Cat Safety Act and stuff. And Reinke and Saf, they are they're animal owners. They love their animals.
Josh, just in case people don't remember, and let's kind of bring back the characters. It's like we're teaching people, right? These are the cliff notes. So you were actually in charge of Joe's gubernatorial. Am I saying that right? Gubernatorial.
Yeah.
Campaign. Yeah. So when you say political, like, you're not kidding. Like, you really, this is your jam.
Yeah. That's what I do. Like right now I do, one of the things I'm doing as a side hustle is cold calling for political candidates. If you think that like lawyers are the most hated profession in the world, try calling someone up and say, hi, I'm calling on behalf of John Brunson, Republican running for Congress. Would you click? Or if you call me one more time, I'm going to call my attorney.
There you go. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And John, we know you as the double amputee, but I remember you as just throwing this old meat around at the animals, and you were pulling it out of the trucks and stuff like that. But you were the guy that worked with Joe Exotic at the zoo for the longest amount of time, right?
Yeah. I mean, we were together 14 years, I just, like Josh said, I just fell in love with the animals there, and it just became a career. And there are so many people out there that have no idea how I put up with Joe for 14 years. I don't even know. The show actually downplayed him. He's a lot more arrogant, flamboyant than y'all can imagine.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how it can be. Yeah. Is there any means of communication or no?
With Joe?
Yeah.
I will not call him and talk to him on the phone because he doesn't know how to shut up, and everything is his side, so it can be used against him. So I won't talk to him one-on-one. I'll go through his attorney's social media. He has access to social media, so we communicate that way.
Okay, fair enough. And same, Josh, some communication there?
Well, I was communicating with Joe up until the feds kind of intimidated me into not testifying. And when he found that I wasn't going to testify, which honestly, I wouldn't have helped him at all because I'm not going to commit perjury and lie under oath. And if they asked me a question, sure, maybe the defense could have asked me a few questions that had been looking good on Joe's side, but the prosecution would have tore him up on, because I'm not going to lie.
Right.
I don't intend on wanting to go to federal prison for lying.
I don't blame you. Yeah, that's good. We wouldn't be able to talk to you.
But he stopped talking to me afterwards, and then I've had a few messages back and forth with him on social media. But he's pretty much furious at anyone and everyone on the show if they're out there even making a penny, because he feels like we're making money off of him.
Yeah.
And mind you, this is the same guy that when Travis killed himself, he begged me for months, all the way up until he got sent to prison, to sue Jeff Lowe and split the settlement money with him 50-50 for me having to watch that, since Jeff owned the zoo. And, you know, technically it was his responsibility. Buck stops him. He owns the zoo. And he should have, quote unquote, made sure Travis wasn't carrying a gun. I've lost count of the number of times he begged me to sue Jeff Lowe and split the money with him.
Wow.
So I do find that when people, you know, accuse me of just wanting to make money off of tragedy and stuff like that, I find it kind of abhorrent that those people can say that in the same breath as they do supporting Joe, when he literally was trying to get me to, you know, make him a millionaire and split it 50-50. Like, who is he? Watto from Star Wars? Hey, if you win, we split it 50-50. I mean, give me a break. This ain't pod racing.
Right. Understood.
So, John, take us back before we only got to know all of you, including Joe, because of the show, but you knew him. Was in the area of Oklahoma where the zoo was he a character prior to that?
It was always Joe front and center. It was always about Joe. You know, everybody compares it to when Sap lost the hand and he puts on an EMT jacket. You know, a lot of that was edited in there, but he would have done that.
Yeah.
That was just what he did.
Oh.
To expand Josh is about Joe's mad at we're making money. You know, we didn't get nothing from Netflix. They don't pay you for documentaries. So everybody out there thinks we've made millions off this show, and no, we still work. I still work 3 jobs a day. So
I do Uber. I drive for Uber Eats. So if you're in Norman, Oklahoma ever, please order like 500 pizzas and give me like $1,000 tip, because I got a cutoff notice on my electric again.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, we're you know, I know for Reinke too, you know, and I probably can speak for Saf and Barb on this. We're just normal people living normal lives, and you know, we got sucked up into this. I think Reinke probably had more of a head about the fact that maybe it was going to Netflix. I think me and Barb were kind of caught off guard. Took at his word. Oh, sorry if I'm not allowed to say that.
No, you're good.
Took the director at his word when he said it was going to be a nature film at a film festival and just strictly a documentary. And that's not what it was. And it's not, I wouldn't even consider it a documentary.
No.
That's why, you know, when season 2 come around and they wanted to start coming around filming, I told them they wasn't going to get anything from me unless they give me some money, you know? And I know that may sound callous and I'm American, man. I'm a red-blooded American. I'm gonna make some money if I can.
As we understand it, you know, there's a PTSD element involved for you that you haven't even received any help. You were made to go back. I saw this one interview. You were made to go back to work in the same office where Travis had accidentally shot himself, and the bullet hole was still in the wall, and you had to look at that.
Yeah. It was back to work the next day, and then Jeff Lowe ended up cutting the hole in the wall where that bullet hole was lodged and sold that. I believe Reinke might need to correct me on this, but I believe to the Zach Baggins or whatever, the ghost hunter. Is that right? Is that right, Reinke?
I read that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's who got it, and it was like a large sum of money. I mean,
but yeah, and Reinke was in charge of the park. Joe was off park, so anytime Joe was off park, Rinke's in charge. He was the guy. And he was the guy that ended up going in there and cleaning up the blood and Reinke. I got, you know, I don't agree with anything politically with Reinke, and he probably don't like me, but I've got massive respect for John Reinke. This man is missing both his legs. I've seen him work his butt off like no one I've ever seen. But also that day he really held it together. He held the staff together. He was involved in that situation too, and he's a good guy to have around in the spot like that for sure. And I always appreciate, regardless of what politics separates, I'll always have respect and appreciate you, Reinke, for that. But I actually get IV injections infusions every 4 to 6 weeks of ketamine. And in low doses, ketamine will actually temporarily subdue PTSD episodes. And it actually works. I'm just down to 3 meds a day, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Good old trazodone, good old Lexapro, and Zyprexa. I appreciate everyone that may be listening and that maybe helped me. I appreciate it because I got the help. Established with a psych doctor now and everything. Yeah,
that's great.
That's so good to hear.
It's November 18th. You can get your tickets at librarymusichall.com. Guys, can't wait for you to come to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and thanks to Drusky Entertainment because we wouldn't have had the hookup.
Yeah,
we're ready. We're excited.
We can't wait.
Yeah. We will see you in October regardless, because that's when season 2 is coming out.